Welcome everyone, it's been a while. I still have a bunch of projects going, but it was nice to take a break from filming. I'm trying out designing my own puzzles. Designing something in CAD and then printing it on a 3D printer is surprisingly doable once you figure out the process, but there's definitely a learning curve. So here's my first complete puzzle that actually works. This is the Celestial Heartrix. It follows the pattern of other celestial puzzles by Rubik Collector 123 that are formed by taking an existing puzzle and adding corners um, by making the cuts just slightly deeper. In this case, I did that to Timmer's Heartrix. The Heartrix doesn't originally have a sky-related name, but it was the best idea I had, and the slight allusion to Latter-day Saint theology was too good to miss. Like the Heartrix, it has two turning axes with three-way symmetry, so that's these. And then over here. And then one with four-way symmetry, so that's this one. You can see. So there's the four-way, three-way, three-way. And then there's also another valid way to look at this puzzle, and so instead of relating it to the Heartrix, you can also say that it adds an additional three-way axis to the Bram sphere puzzle, in the same way that the Heartrix adds an additional access to the bibride. And then since the triquad is more or less the same as Bram sphere, you can also say that about the triquad. So for anyone unfamiliar with those other puzzles, there are actually quite a few similar to this one. Here's how to make sense of the whole family of them. So the Heartrix is like this one, just without the tiny corners. The bigride is a Heartrix, but without one of the three-way turning axes, so it would just have this, and not this. And then the Bram sphere is like and the triquad are both like this one, and they include the corners, but they only have one of the three-way symmetric axes instead of two. So they're like the bigride in that sense. And then the triquad also has stickers for these pieces that let you distinguish between which one goes on which side of the face. So this puzzle has no jumbling and block moves. I'm very pleased with how well it came together. The turning quality is quite good. It needs to be aligned accurately, but it turns great as long as things are aligned. I printed it using Polymaker's PolyMax Tough PLA. I'm trying various materials for puzzle making right now. This was one of my first picks since it was used successfully in the recent Minks of Madness record by Corin Puzzles. It seems to have worked well, even with some parts having relatively narrow connections in the middle. For example, the edge pieces, so that's these, are a little less than 3 millimeters across in the middle. So hopefully it holds up well over time. Even though the parts were printed on an FDM machine, they slide past each other perfectly fine. And the material actually seems slightly slippery, so it's great. The stickers turned out a little bit ragged around the edges, probably because some of the details are quite small and the cutter I used is pretty old. It's a fairly old Cricut, and I had some minor issues with getting their software to scale things properly. And then the cuts were just not quite as precise as I'd like. It's a workable setup, but definitely not ideal. The stickers on these corners are especially small, so they were a challenge for the cutter. And then they also had to be glued down to even stick to the puzzle. So I went for a red-blue color scheme since it's a heart shape. Where is it? These two shades are a little bit close together. This one's more of a teal color and this one's just light blue. Hopefully that comes through okay on the camera. But I'm pretty happy with the look overall. I currently have no idea whatsoever on how to solve this, but that's kind of the point of the puzzle. Hopefully I'll get it eventually. For now, I am just really happy with how it turned out. Thank you.